90-Day Fiance, star Shekinah Garner, and Sappa Güven's divorced. And finally, Sappa Güven married her secret girlfriend. Hello everyone. Welcome. Before going to the main topic, I would like to say, like this video, and please subscribe to the channel. Today, we're exposing one of the most jaw-dropping stories in 90-Day Fiancé history, a tale of love, betrayal, and a secret marriage that has left fans reeling. Shekinah Garner and Sappa Güven, the couple who stole our hearts with their passionate romance and unconventional bedding ceremony, are no longer together. Their marriage, which began with such promise, ended in a shocking divorce just weeks after their vows. And in a twist no one saw coming, Sarper has married his secret girlfriend, a woman who emerged from the shadows to claim his heart. This isn't a rumor. This is the truth. So, grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's uncover the full story of Shekinah and Sarper's heartbreaking split, and the new love that changed everything. Shekinah Garner, a 43-year-old esthetician and makeup artist from Los Angeles, was living the dream. With her thriving business, fluorescent skin and a resume that included work on films like Past God and Frank and Eva, Shekinah was a beauty queen with a knack for the spotlight. Her Instagram was a showcase of flawless makeup, glowing skin, and a life of glamour. But in 2023, while vacationing in Turkey with a friend, Shekinah decided to explore the local dating scene. She swiped right on a dating app and connected with Sappa Güven, a 44-year-old personal trainer, model, and former exotic dancer from Istanbul. Their first date was nothing short of magical. Sappa, with his chiseled features, meticulous grooming, and a touch of highlighter on his cheeks, captivated Shekinah instantly. As she famously said in a confessional, "Sappa had me at highlighter." Their connection was undeniable. Sappa, with his Turkish charm and bad boy persona, was unlike anyone Shekinah had ever met. But there was a catch: his past. Sappa openly admitted to having been intimate with nearly 3,000 women, a revelation that shocked Shekinah and 90-Day Fiancé fans alike. Yet, Shekinah saw past the numbers. She believed Sarper was ready to leave his Playboy days behind and build a future with her. Just 2 months after their first date, Shekinah returned to Turkey, diving headfirst into a long-distance romance that would soon become the centerpiece of their 90-Day Fiancé, the Other Way storyline. Fans were hooked, but the road ahead was anything but smooth. By early 2024, Sarper made a life-changing decision. He secured a K-1 visa and left his vibrant life in Istanbul to join Shekinah in Los Angeles. For Sarper, this was a monumental sacrifice. He was leaving behind his family, his career as a personal trainer, and the freedom of his bachelor lifestyle. In LA, he stepped into Shekinah's world, a tiny apartment doubling as her fluorescent skin studio, where every inch was dedicated to her skincare business. The transition was jarring. Sarper called the apartment a prison, frustrated by Shekinah's strict rules: no cooking, no disrupting her client sessions, and a constant demand for transparency. For a man used to calling the shots, this was a wake-up call. Shekinah, meanwhile, was wrestling with her own demons. Sarper's history with thousands of women fueled her insecurities, and she struggled to trust him fully. She banned him from training female clients, a move that strained his finances and left him feeling emasculated. Their arguments grew heated, with Sarper's temper flaring and Shekinah's demands intensifying. In one explosive fight, Sarper threatened to return to Turkey, saying, "If I go back, no one will hold me back anymore." Shekinah, hurt and frustrated, admitted in a confessional, "I don't know if I can marry someone who makes me feel this way." Fans watched as their once passionate romance began to unravel, setting the stage for a wedding that would change everything. Despite their struggles, Shekinah and Sappa pushed forward with their wedding plans. But in true 90-day fashion, their ceremony was anything but conventional. On November 11, 2024, they married in a bedding ceremony at the Mondrian's penthouse in West Hollywood, marking the 90th wedding in 90-Day Fiancé history. The couple exchanged vows on a king-sized bed, surrounded by roses, lavender, and orchids honoring their late grandmothers. Shekinah wore a stunning white lace minidress, and Sappa looked dapper in a tailored suit. They called it their bedding because, as Shekinah told People magazine, "We spend an insane amount of time in bed, eating, working, napping, gossiping. It's where we're most comfortable." But behind the romantic facade, the cracks were already forming. Days before the bedding, Sarper vanished, overwhelmed by memories of his first marriage 15 years earlier, which he described as a complete disaster. Shekinah, using a hidden AirTag, found him at a cafe, where he confessed his fears about commitment. "I don't know if I can do this again," he admitted, revealing he kept his first marriage a secret from her until that moment. Shekinah was blindsided, but she pushed forward, determined to make their love work. The ceremony went ahead, but Shekinah's tears told a different story. "Everything is wrong with this picture," she sobbed in a confessional, hinting at the turmoil beneath the surface. The couple also faced backlash over Sarper's prenup clause, demanding Shekinah maintain a weight of 128 pounds or face a $1,000 fine per pound gained, a move that fans called toxic and controlling. The truth came crashing down during the 90-day FIANCE Season 11 tell-all, aired on June 22, 2025. Shekinah and Sappa arrived separately, their faces heavy with resentment. Post Sean Robinson didn't hold back, pressing them about their marriage. Sarper dropped a bombshell. "Shekinah kicked me out of the house less than a month after our wedding." The audience gasped as he revealed he'd spent 10 days in a rental, leaving his wedding ring on the table on Christmas Day 2024. Shekinah, fighting tears, confirmed the devastating truth. Their marriage was over. "Everything changed after we got married," she told the cameras. "My biggest fear came true. He's not the man I thought he was." The divorce was finalized in early January 2025, just 6 weeks after their bedding ceremony, marking one of the shortest marriages in 90-day fiancé history. The tell-all laid bare the reasons for their collapse. Sappa, struggling with depression and the loss of his independence, felt suffocated by Shekinah's controlling nature. He resented her demands to leave the apartment during client sessions and her constant monitoring, including the AirTag she'd hidden in his car keychain. Shekinah, meanwhile, felt betrayed by Sarper's emotional distance and his refusal to fully commit. "He doesn't truly love me if he can walk away so easily," she told the group, her voice breaking. Sarper's insults didn't help, calling her naughty and spoiled during a heated backstage argument. He warned, "You will lose me, and you will regret it like a dog." Shekinah, fed up, told him to leave me the f alone, sealing their fate. Fans were stunned, but the real shock was yet to come. While Shekinah was picking up the pieces of her broken heart, Sappa was already moving on, with a new love who would become his wife. In February 2025, just weeks after their divorce was finalized, Sappa married a woman named Ayla Demer, a 32-year-old fitness influencer and yoga instructor based in Los Angeles. Ayla, with her toned physique, long brunette hair, and vibrant social media presence, was a stark contrast to Shekinah. Where Shekinah was all about glamour and skincare, Ayla shared Sappa's passion for fitness, often seen in his Instagram posts as the mystery woman at his boot camps. Their connection began in late 2024, during one of Sappa's Boot Love with Sappa sessions at 88 Studios in North Hollywood, where Ayla was a regular attendee. Their romance moved at lightning speed. Ayla, who'd followed Sappa's journey on 90-day fiancé, was drawn to his charisma and drive to rebuild his life. Unlike Shekinah, Ayla embraced Sappa's need for independence, encouraging his stand-up comedy and fitness career. On February 15, 2025, Sappa and Ayla tied the knot in a quiet courthouse ceremony in Los Angeles, attended only by close friends and Sappa's parents, who flew in from Turkey. The marriage certificate, obtained by 90-day fiancé bloggers, confirmed the union, listing Sappa Güven and Ayla Demer as husband and wife. Sappa's Instagram posts from early 2025 hinted at his new happiness, with captions like "New chapter, new strength," and photos of him and Ayla training together. Fans noticed Shekinah was no longer tagged, and Ayla's comments on his posts, like "my forever partner," confirmed their bond. Ayla's presence in Sappa's life was a game changer. She supported his dreams, from his stand-up shows to his virtual coaching business, and shared his vision of starting a family, something Shekinah, a mother to a teenage daughter, had firmly rejected. Sarper, who'd expressed his desire to find his biological son from a previous relationship, found in Ayla a partner who embraced his past and future. Their marriage, though sudden, felt like a natural fit, with Ayla's laid-back energy balancing Sarper's intensity. But for Shekinah, the news of Sappa's new wife was a devastating blow. So why did Shekinah and Sappa's marriage crumble so quickly? The answer lies in a perfect storm of cultural clashes, trust issues, and unmet expectations. First, Sappa's transition to America was a nightmare. Used to the freedom of Istanbul, he felt trapped in Shekinah's small apartment, where her skincare business dominated their space and schedule. Her rules, no cooking, no staying home during client sessions, left him feeling like a guest in his own life. Second, trust was a constant battle. Shekinah's insecurities about Sappa's past with 3,000 women led to controlling behaviors, like banning female clients and tracking his location with an AirTag. Sappa, in turn, lashed out, his temper and insults pushing Shekinah away. Then there was the pressure of the K-1 visa. Sarper admitted he never wanted to marry, having been burned by his first marriage 15 years earlier. He only agreed to the bedding because the visa required it, not because he was ready for forever. Shekinah, too, had doubts, telling fans in a 2023 Instagram Q&A that marriage was a dying institution, but agreeing to it for Sarper's sake. Their differing goals, Sarper's desire for a child versus Shekinah's refusal to have more kids, added fuel to the fire. By the time they reached the altar, their love was on life support. Sarper's quick leap to Ayla suggests he'd already checked out emotionally, finding in her the freedom and support he craved. Today, June 29, 2025, Shekinah and Sappa are living very different lives. Shekinah has returned to her roots, pouring her energy into fluorescent skin lay and her daughter Sophie. Her Instagram Shekinah Ghana is filled with positivity, skincare tips, mother-daughter moments, and cryptic posts about healing. In a recent Q&A, she told fans, "I'm finding peace in letting go," a clear reference to her divorce. She's confirmed she's done with 90-day fiancé, focusing on rebuilding her life. Fans have rallied around her, with hashtag Teen Shekinah trending on X, praising her strength and resilience. Sappa, meanwhile, is thriving with Ayla by his side. Now a successful personal trainer and stand-up comedian in LA, he's embraced his new life. His Instagram Sappa 90-day shows him and Ayla at fitness events, red carpet appearances, and cozy moments at home. A recent post from June 2025, captioned "My strength, my home," shows them laughing together, a stark contrast to his tense days with Shekinah. Ayla's influence is clear. Sappa looks happier, more confident, and focused on his future. He's even hinted at starting a family, posting about building a legacy with Ayla, who's openly expressed her desire for children. For Sappa, this new marriage is a fresh start, but for fans, it's a bittersweet end to a 90-day love story. Shekinah Ghana and Sappa Güven's journey on 90-Day Fiancé was a wild ride. Passion, drama, and a love that couldn't withstand the pressures of reality. Their divorce, finalized in January 2025, marked the end of a chapter. But Sappa's marriage to Ayla Demir in February 2025 proved he was ready to move on. Shekinah, heartbroken but resilient, is rebuilding her life, while Sappa and Ayla are writing a new story together. What do you think of this shocking turn of events? Are you Team Shekinah, rooting for her comeback? Or do you think Sappa and Ayla are the real deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments. More update. Shekinah breaks silence on relationship tension with Sappa during tell-all. But why? And this 90-day fiancé couple's marital trouble claims just don't add up. But why? And Shekinah Ghana and Sappa Güven reveal marriage problems. But why? I will explain everything. Shekinah breaks silence on relationship tension with Sappa during tell-all. But why? After the 90-day fiancé season 11 tell-all, Ghana and Sappa Güven were finally addressed. Their already strained marital relationship erupted into full-blown argument during the after-show event. Shekinah herself verified what happened in case viewers were wondering. A quarrel broke out, according to Shekinah. I messaged producers before I left Los Angeles, so we were very in touch. I expressed my desire to not share a flight with him. I would want to not return to the same hotel. Joining him won't happen. At the tell-all, I would rather not sit on the couch with him. The severity of the situation behind the scenes was revealed by this candid admission. Even though the show's producers had convinced them to live in carpool, Shekinah said that they hadn't even done so before filming began. The newlyweds were already arguing often, emotionally distant, and subject to peer pressure after only 1 month of marriage. Their apparent unity at the tell-all was at odds with their unresolved concerns, creating an exceptionally uncomfortable atmosphere and raising doubts about the longevity of their marriage. One of the main reasons why 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 tell-all was so popular was because Shekinah Ghana was so honest about her and Sappa Güven's troubled relationship. While appearing on Sirius FM's Reality Checked, Shekinah admitted that there had been some rough patches in their marriage. It felt like there was a never-ending series of difficulties during the early years of our marriage, and we were going through a particularly hard time. The 90-Day Fiancé actor also talked about the occasions Sappa left the house. Sappa later admitted to her that she had asked him to leave, and she said that she had kicked him out of the house. It was clear that their disagreement had consequences. According to Shekinah, they had to be separated on planes because of the awkwardness of sharing a hotel room before the tell-all. Their strained relationship shone through on 90-Day Fiancé as they failed to generate the desired on-screen chemistry. Shekinah said that the tell-all was emotionally draining and that they were not presenting a united front in the high-pressure environment. Further background on how Sappa's internal conflicts had a role early in the season is also provided. Living in Shekinah's home felt like prison to him as he adjusted to life in America. He wanted greater freedom and independence. Meanwhile, in April, during a violent dispute, Sappa said, "Go back to Turkey." This made Shekinah cry since she felt abandoned in her own country. These examples show how Sappa's emotional demand was met as Shekinah's annoyance increased, leading her to feel confined. All things considered, these public disclosures shed light on a marriage that is going through a lot of trouble due to cultural differences, communication issues, and conflicting expectations. Intimacy, love, and living life under continual scrutiny were themes that emerged from the comments offered during the tell-all, which went beyond reality show drama. This 90-Day Fiancé couple's marital trouble claims just don't add up. But why? The accusations of marital problems made by one 90-Day Fiancé pair do not add up. As the 11th season of 90-Day Fiancé came to a close, the marriage of Shekinah Ghana and Sappa Güven was in a state of extremes. Originally featured in seasons 5 and 6 of 90-Day Fiancé. The other way, Shekinah and Sappa were trying to figure out what their future looked like. Shekinah and Sappa sought for the K-1 visa after discovering they couldn't work full-time in Turkey. Sappa arrived in America in the fall of 2024. Sappa struggled to adapt to life in the United States without his family and job, and he and Shekinah's history of distrust, explosive rage, and misunderstandings persisted. Regardless, they went ahead and tied the knot. But there was a lot of animosity between them when they attended the tell-all for season 11. 10 days had passed since their wedding, and Sappa had already left. They slept in different rooms the night before the tell-all, and Shekinah was alone on Christmas. Having said that, they might just be acting dishonestly. In the 11th season of 90-Day Fiancé, Shekinah and Sappa painted a fascinating financial picture. Shekinah was the one doing all the traveling, so Sappa agreed to pay for her travels to Turkey. Given that Sappa is merely a fitness instructor and that he lost half of his clients when Shekinah claimed he couldn't train females. It was puzzling how he managed to afford it, because she could afford plastic operations, boarding school for her daughter, and a life that seemed extravagant in Los Angeles. Shekinah gave the impression that she was extremely wealthy. When the subject of a prenup came up in Shekinah and Sappa's conversations with her friends in season 11 of 90 Days to Fiancé, some disturbing news was revealed. Sappa was strongly opposed to Shekinah's suggestion that they get a prenuptial agreement. Since Sarper had more assets than Shekinah, she objected to the idea of a prenup that would benefit him as well. Accordingly, Sarper's claims that he is depending on Shekinah in season 11 are illogical. In terms of their financial situation and organization, it appears that the dynamic and representation they are attempting to present is not totally realistic. Shekinah and Sappa were on the other way for 2 seasons, but fans didn't learn a major development until season 11. They had already dropped the bombshell that Sappa wanted a kid with Shekinah and had a child he never saw. But a new tale was chosen instead of that one, and a lot of talk about it was shelved. The fact that Sappa had a previous marriage was revealed in season 11. The usual interpretation would be that they are deeply in love, although Sappa has categorically denied ever loving anybody other than Shekinah. The fact that Sappa was a divorcee was useful information, since it increased the tension between him and Shekinah. The concept that Sappa was a player before Shekinah was something that was strongly suggested between them, so it almost appeared made up. It is unclear if Sappa and Shekinah are evoking Sappa's feelings of remorse for his earlier divorce when they discuss their marital issues. Another possible explanation for why Sappa and Shekinah are deceiving 90-day fiancé viewers is because following a nasty argument, they reconciled in a mushy manner during the tell-all when Sappa presented Shekinah with a large, long-overdue wedding ring. Given the level of contempt they had for each other just moments before, the gesture seems premeditated and raises suspicions. Additionally, a 90-day fiancé fan just noticed Shekinah and Sappa with Sappa's parents via r/PolishNaked2 on Reddit. As they boarded a flight from Miami to Los Angeles, the quartet found themselves in the United States. If Sappa's parents, with whom he has a close relationship, could visit the couple in the United States, it would indicate that things are better than they appear. When things aren't that bad in real life, the 90-day stars act as if they are. The strategy of high-emotion drama on television versus a fairly ordinary life off-screen could be relevant to Shekinah and Sappa. They might be attempting to keep the spotlight on 90-day fiancé by constantly surprising viewers with fresh perspectives and relationship dynamics that elicit powerful reactions from them. Shekinah and Sappa may be preparing to audition for the therapy-style spin-off 90 Day, the last resort in light of their purported marital issues. Keeping her fame may be Shekinah's motivation for returning to reality TV after stints on Baggage and Millionaire Matchmaker. In addition, because her family sounded so Kardashian-esque, many speculated that Shekinah, Sappa, and her relatives will receive their own spin-off series. Whatever the case may be, Sappa and Shekinah are attempting to be as genuine as they can be, and they certainly have their fair share of crazy issues. But there are certain inconsistencies between what happens in the movies and what happens in real life. Regardless of their sincerity, Sappa and Shekinah may be among the many cast members whose overused and formulaic plots receive repeated screen time in the 90-Day Fiancé franchise. Shekinah reveals why she didn't travel with Sappa for the tell-all episode. The first part of 90-Day Fiancé's 11th season, titled Tell All, debuted on TLC on June 22, 2025. Every pair made an appearance on the reunion program for a final chance to catch each other up, discuss their lives, and reflect on the season. Even though they tied the knot at season's finale, Shekinah and Sappa unexpectedly found themselves at conflict in this episode. Sappa revealed that Shekinah had ejected him from the house over Christmas week in 2024, while they spoke about their recent arguments. During a recent episode of Reality Checked on Radio Andy, the 90-Day Fiancé couple discussed their aloof attitudes toward each other and reflected on their tell-all appearance. They got into an argument right before recording the tell-all episode. As Shekinah admitted, she refused to go on set with him or even sit next to him because of the resentment she felt after their confrontation. "We had an altercation. I messaged producers before I left Los Angeles, so we really did that. I would prefer not to share this plane with him," I declared. "I would want to not return to the same hotel. Joining him won't happen." She made it clear that she did not want to sit through the tell-all with him. Shekinah and Sappa, who were a pair on 90 Day Fiancé, discussed their relationship status while filming the tell-all episode in an interview with Radio Andy's Reality Checked. After her altercation with Sarper, Shekinah made it clear that she avoided being in his presence. Before she left for the tell-all shoot in Los Angeles, she told the producers about her disagreement with her partner and made it plain that she didn't want to go to LA with him or sit next to him on set. Eventually, the producers were able to soothe her nerves. They were able to get Shekinah to agree to share a couch with Sappa, but they still ended up booking separate hotel rooms and tickets on a faraway trip. They asked whether it would be alright if they could use the same couch again. Rooms in different hotels, that's acceptable. According to the 90 Day Fiancé actor, if you're on the same airplane, we can switch seats. They were also going through a very difficult period in their relationship, Shekinah said. "It seemed like they were always going through a tough phase," she said, "and that had been going on since the beginning of their marriage." She went on to say that Sappa even left the house for a while at those times. But Sappa stepped in to say that he isn't leaving willingly, rather, Shekinah expulsion following their arguments. Following one of their arguments, Shekinah did in fact advise her 90 Day Fiancé partner to leave, but she stressed that dealing with such difficult situations was becoming more difficult for her. It was difficult to go through that difficult time apart, particularly in the beginning, when you're meeting all this conflict and hardship from other couples and not being unified. "But yeah, we were going through a rough patch when the tell-all was happening. It was already bad before we met," she said. Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven reveal marriage problems. But why? "A long period has passed since we first became acquainted. The other way, Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner's 5th season on 90 Day Fiancé was their television debut. Shekinah left Los Angeles to be with him in Turkey after falling in love during a vacation there. As expected, this major milestone in their partnership was a smashing success. They were already sharing a home despite having only known each other for a short time. Arguing that they should start having children immediately was the most problematic aspect of Sarper's unrealistic demand throughout the season. Still, it was stunning to see the pair back for 90 Day Fiancé Season 11. In the tell-all, they made it official that they are still married. Still, it's crystal evident that their marriage is already in jeopardy after these two did it. Sappa and Shekinah were both featured guests on Sarah Fraser's show not long ago. Sappa was candid about the fact that their relationship is far from ideal during the segment. "We are continuing to make every effort. As a group, we're dealing with a lot of issues." Listening to the episode from June 25, he expressed his affection for the other person and expressed his hope that she shares the same sentiment. In her own words, Shekinah provided further background on the significance of their relationship milestone. She went on to clarify why, for some reason, their wedding ceremony was filmed on a bed. "Because of his previous marriage, we foolishly believed that we could spend the rest of our lives blissfully together without tying the knot. However, it was necessary for the K-1 visa. So it was a terrifying experience for us both, and we prefer to relax in bed. For us, it's the most terrifying place. Why don't we do it in bed?" 90 Day Fiancé's Sappa and Shekinah finally reveal if they're getting divorced amid tell-all drama. Shekinah Garner and Sappa Güven, who were rumored to be divorcing after Shekinah revealed marital issues at the tell-all, addressed the reports in an Instagram post. The Turkish man's revelation of his bad boy history began Sappa and Shekinah's journey in Season 5 of The Other Way. Sappa left his old ways behind for Shekinah when he relocated to the United States in Season 11 of 90 Day Fiancé. In the end, the pair tied the knot while lying on a bed. The Shekinah and Sarper announced their divorce at the reunion, even though they acknowledged their marriage was already in trouble within a year of being married. The Sarah Fraser Show interviewed Shekinah and Sappa, who were asked to address the divorce rumors, and 90-day fiance _Alexa posted a snippet from the interview. "We're overjoyed." An upbeat demeanor was Sappa's response. "Getting married isn't easy," he said, "but they're giving it their all anyhow." Sarper said that despite their many ups and downs and difficulties, they adore one another. "I pray she adores me." Shekinah revealed that she and her partner have no interest in tying the knot. Thinking they could live forever happy together without having that commitment, Sarper and her new husband dismissed her previous marriage. Nevertheless, the K-1 visa necessitated their marriage. They had a wedding since it was the safest place for them, and Shekinah confessed that it was something that worried them both. During their first season together, Shekinah and Sappa made it clear that they had no intention of getting married. They were under the impression that they could demonstrate their love and devotion to one another without official paperwork. It was becoming a nightmare for Shekinah as she continued to fly from Los Angeles to Istanbul just to be with Sappa. While Sappa was having trouble securing female clientele, the affair became costly for him. Besides wanting him to foot the bill for her flights and costs in Turkey, Shekinah didn't trust him with other women. They came to the conclusion that Sappa would be better off moving to the United States. After experiencing cold feet an excessive number of times, he nearly surrendered. Not like to rely on Shekinah was Sappa's opinion. His stand-up comedy performances and fitness clinics gave him the sense of independence he's always wanted. There have been several near breakups between Shekinah and Sappa on 90-Day Fiancé due to their constant bickering. When asked about the issues plaguing their marriage, Sappa has remained mum. In the upcoming third season of 90 Days, The Last Resort, Sappa and Shekinah are expected to make an appearance. Forget about the happily ever after couples from 90-Day Fiancé. These people have it bad. After the events of 90-Day Fiancé Season 11, they may still be able to rely on one another. They should be able to figure things out with the help of treatment. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.